a little bit of delay in scheduling, getting this going. We're just building hype, trying to get the anticipation really building for you guys for this one, because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it looks like we're started into this right away. I'm really excited because this is a AGDQ rematch for them, and I was lucky enough to be there in person. Now I'm lucky enough to watch this, and it's just going to be...
Yeah, and I don't remember who did take the because that was a three-way race, right? It was Toad and these two. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a relay race, a 4-through-6 relay, and actually I think Sagehero's team won in that one.
There you go. So a chance for a bit of revenge for Riley.
Right.
That was interesting. I think the Dragonfly got in the way there for Sage, and so he had to go with the coil strats to make it across. I don't know if he was planning on doing that already just to be safe, or if
actually I think they both used coil there.
Right.
I think they just agreed to do the coil. That's what they did in the AGDQ run. Also, they both used coil there just to kind of be.
I like ensuring that you get balloon, because all the cool strats we're gonna see later. It'd be a shame if we missed out on those, so that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, both runners are just very excellent in their movement and their balloon works. I mean, everything they do is just spot on. This should be really exciting matchup. All three, I think, to be honest with you, I really think we're going to see all three matches tonight. I don't think it's going to be a 2-0. I think it's going to be really close. I think we're going to see all three matches.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if that's the case. We didn't really say anything about the routes, but they both are starting with Pharaoh first. If you've been watching these runs, you've seen that the primary routes are either Pharaoh first or Bright first. Since these guys are doing the exact same thing, it'll just come down to execution. This is the slightly faster route, but you got to do it well to save that time. So.
Yeah, you save about 6 seconds overall if you do Pharaoh first, but you got, like you said, you really got to do everything right in the first 3 stages, and to kind of really make the most of it.
Yeah, sagehero got into the fight just a little bit quicker and had just a little bit faster of a fight, so he's got a bit of a lead, but this Bright stage will matter a lot more. I think we'll probably be seeing Bright balloons, unless we're going a little bit safer for the race format, but I know both of them use those in their runs, so.
Yeah, using balloons in Brightman's spike screen is a lot faster, because you can kind of get rid of that RNG factor of the grasshoppers and kind of just make your way through a lot faster. But it is so dangerous. One slip up and they could be starting back over at the checkpoint. So
getting there, yeah. There's Sage switching to the balloon.
Got a little miss menu, but no big deal. It's only a little bit of time saved.
That's the first one. I'm always worried about getting crushed there, because it can happen pretty easily. So the first triple balloon always scares me a bit. Quite well through there.
Yeah, sagehero did a really good job, and you see notriley taking a little bit safer strats here and using Pharaoh shot on these totem poles. Only takes 3 shots of Pharaoh to get those totems down. So he's a little bit behind, but not bad. I mean, he's coming up right behind sagehero, so both equally effective strats.
And you do, of course, pretty minor, but save a menu by being on Pharaoh earlier. The balloons are still quicker out, but it's not a big difference. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but it's not a big difference between balloons and a good grasshopper pattern.
Yeah, here you're going to see sagehero and notriley use that charge shot above their head to kind of ensure they get a double charge shot on Bright, and they have to hit him with a small Pharaoh shot to offset his health values, because at 16, 8, and 4 health, Brightman will freeze the screen. So they both did a really excellent job getting them down.
Yeah. that ends up being a pretty scary fight for health because you have to make sure to get those hits above him, above your head. Either if he jumps, then they're easy to do, but if he's shooting, then you're going to have to take some tactical deboost, and it can get a little bit scary on health, but both of them, no problem.
Yeah, now on to everybody's favorite stage, Ringman. It's very, very tight routed stage here because you're going to end up going through this stage with, by the time you get to Ringman, you'll have low health and low ammo because it's just, you're going to take a lot of deboosts off the mini bosses throughout here, and it's really fun stage, but also really tightly routed.
A really clean section there from Sage. He made it through quite well. Riley had a little hiccup on, I guess, the second screen. I think maybe just had the balloon placement a little bit awkward, but he's back through again. Not a big deal. And lag management is also going to be a big part of the stage. Some of the little things that can make a big difference for runners trying to get these Saturn enemies off the screen.
Sagehero just gave me a heart attack. I didn't think he was going to get that backup shot on that ring.
Yeah.
That's a really tight window right there to get that backup when you dink off of him like that. It's a really tight window, but he made it through. Both runners doing an excellent job, man. These guys are just tearing it up.
Yeah.
I love their movement. If you guys can tell, I mean, you can really tell how great of a movement they're having with, when you look at their slides, the slides look like they just never come out of their slide because they're just chain sliding so perfectly.
Yeah. Never see that animation change. It's so impressive. And Sage just, like we mentioned at the beginning, at low health, Ringman's rings do 4 damage and his body does 8, so any hit is death, but no problem.
Yeah, Ringman has no RNG to him. He does the same thing every time, so very predictable. Easy to knock him down real quick, and both runners doing a good job. Not really killed him off in the corner. You kind of want to kill Ringman, well, any boss really, in the center, because the fanfare doesn't start until all the explosion particles, I don't know what else to call them, but until they leave the screen, you know, so it takes a little bit longer if you kill him in the corner to get off screen than when you're in the middle, so you can kill him in the middle to optimize your time there. I like the fact that Sagehero's using bright strats here because that's what I do, and I'm like, hey, this is
Yeah.
this is a valuable strat here.
Yeah, I like the bright strats a lot more too. If I remember correctly from, I think Baron Hayes did some really good comparison because he was also looking at doing some ring strats through here. The bright strats were faster for the first screen, but a little bit slower in the lag screen because the enemies are going to be on screen for longer. And then the Pharaoh was a little bit slower at the first screen, but faster through lag. So it is pretty much a wash between those two strats. Yeah,
and I just love watching Riley go through that lag room with Pharaoh, man. It's so seamless for him.
So clean.
And I mean, and that's what I love about Riley is so consistent throughout the entire run. His movement, everything is just really clean, really nicely done.
Yeah, we're not far behind here. Sagehero going into our good friend Dustman. We'll see if Dustman sucks or not.
Yeah, he sucks both literally and figuratively. So
God, Riley,
we'll see what kind
of nice slide through the short jump. It's so hard to do.
It always makes you feel good when you get that small jump and squishy. Man, Sagehero having to take a little bit of a time loss because he couldn't take another damage boost off of Dustman because he hits like a truck and he had a little bit low health, and if he would have took a damage boost to get him to stop sucking there, he would have died.
Yeah,
so,
that was a heads-up play because I think that looked like he was at exactly 8 HP, so he would have died. He played that right. Whereas Riley also got 2 sucks, but was able to cancel 2 of them So he did make up a little bit of time on that fight because Dust was a jerk to both of them.
Yeah, so we'll see each other real close again now. So this Skullman, you'll see the one and only zip that you do here in the speedrun, where you take iframes from that spike twirly thingamajig. I don't know what his name is, but you take damage from
the
him
official name.
and you zip through that wall there. Because in Mega Man 4, the only way you can zip is if you have iframes. Yeah, you can't do it like you do in Mega Man 2, where you can just zip through walls. In Mega Man 4, if you're in a wall, you die if you don't have iframes. So.
Yeah, this is such a fun stage because of all the balloon usage. Obviously starting out with that zip, but it really only becomes worth it to do all these deboost and use balloon if your movement is real tight. And so we can see it's impressive, these strats going through here, keeping moving, using the balloon for all the vertical sections. This gets put on a show.
Yeah, I don't think we talk about this either. Brightman's weapon, the flash stopper here, gets used a lot in the 8 Robo section because the global countdown is like 5 seconds. But if you're sliding, the countdown does not go down. So you can literally make one flash stopper last an entire screen. So it's very, very effective in these 8 Robos.
Yeah, we'll see it. We got a few more stages where it's going to get a lot of usage. I don't know if I'm just not up on my strats, but it seemed like sagehero messed up the manipulation on Skullman. He got that jump right away, or is that something new?
I think what he was playing around with, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I was told that if Skullman's on the left side, and it's slightly faster, but I'm not 100% sure on how that works. But I knew sagehero and Chun-Li were kind of playing around with that fight.
Okay, it did seem like it was, aside from Skullman giving him a long pattern, it was a pretty quick fight, so maybe I thought maybe that was intended. I just don't know that I've really seen anyone else do the fight quite like that.
That's what it is. Victress. Yeah, you're right. That is what it is. It has to do with the dust particles leaving the screen faster.
That makes sense. So that, yeah, cool. See, learning new things. And here's our again, Brightman's weapon, flash stopper, being used to great use all throughout the stage. Man, and nice one jump from Sage.
Beautiful one cycle from sagehero right there, man. That was awesome. I was telling him earlier, and while I was watching him practice, I said, "Man, my mashing is the worst part of my speedrun, and you make it look seamless, dude. That's really good."
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a tough skill.
Yeah, underwater rules are in effect here. You can't jump out of your slide. So you'll see him every once in a while do a slide cancel on some ledges because, obviously you don't want to slide into some spikes that will ruin Mega Man's weekend.
And we got no wire. Anybody that was getting hyped for wire, apologies. Wire has been missed. But, man, look how close this is. We're getting the screen transitions just a second or two apart. Oh, wow. Yeah. Dive Man, another one of those fights that's pretty much entirely scripted. You're just going to be trying to hit him as soon as he comes out of iframes with the skull barrier. It's a little bit of an awkward weapon, and it'll eat the projectiles as well. So you got to be careful with your ammo usage. They had exact amounts. And then we also saw sagehero saved a little bit of time there with the animation skip. Got that jump at just the right time. Saved 80, 90 frames, something like that.
Yeah, almost about 2 seconds saved right there from getting that. Not only the center pixel, but that fanfare skip. It looked like Riley got the center pixel, but I think he jumped too soon, so he didn't get that fanfare skip. But that skip's easy to do, but a little bit tricky to time your jump right. But
yeah, it's It's fairly easy to get the right spot, but just getting that timing and the bubbles coming out of Mega Man, besides the explosion bubbles, also affect it. So you gotta kind of react. Can't do the exact same every time.
Got good bats for Sage, but crappy bats for Riley there.
Yeah. And take some extra damage boosts. Oh. Sage had to do a quick, that was a impressive little slide cancel as he realized one of his shots missed. They both,
and I like that slide cancel. Yeah, I like that slide cancel from Sage also in the turret room. Once he killed that first turret, he got a large drop, and he did a slide cancel there so he wouldn't, fall off the ledge. That's really good backup strat to do right there.
Yeah, it's so easy for drops to kill you. And so being able to react to that, that's a impressive sign of the skill and time you spent in this game to recognize that immediately.
Yeah, both runners have a really good movement in their dive man's or drill man's Sage. That last screen, you can make it work with one flash, but usually you have to do 2 flash stoppers there. And both runners doing a really good job. Let's see what kind of RNG we get here.
Just like that with the dive. I think Riley's.
Oh wow! Look at that! Yeah. Look at that! Riley takes the lead. Wow! All because Drill Man.
Drill Man. Oh.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, Sage had a little bit worse luck with Dustman, a little bit worse luck with Drill Man. They're both having excellent execution. That's really all that's separating it right now.
Yeah, and that's what makes these races so amazing to watch, is when these two runners are so tightly knitted together with 10 seconds off their respective PBs. These races are just going to come down to RNG and luck, basically. So,
yeah. All right, so we're back to another flash stopper heavy stage. Old Toadman. This is also a scary stage because this first screen, you've got a little change in the physics with the wind pushing against you. And so these little jumps don't seem too bad, but they can make your heart stop if you're off by just a little bit.
Yeah, they're deceptively brutal. They can sneak up and bite you if you're not careful. Same way with these waterfall sections here. They push you forward, push you back, and it's deceitful too, because if you get a drop, it's easy to slide straight into the pit.
And sometimes you can't even see those drops in the water, so you can have a scary time. We're not even going to talk to Gary the Snail. Just pass right by him both times.
That is an actual snail there, not just a pixelated blob.
Kind of like the whales that we didn't actually see earlier. That's a really cool use of Flash Stopper that you might not think of casually, but being able to freeze the mini bosses as they come in, very great. And now the hardest fight in the game against Old Toadman.
Oh, Riley missing a couple shots there.
There we go. All right, so let's see. Riley's getting teleported at 37, 38, something like that. Sage is out at 42, so about 4 or 5 second difference, man.
What a great 8 row goes by these two. This is amazing.
And anytime you're coming out in 18 anything, that's a pretty impressive time. So to be that close and both be putting up great races, this is awesome.
Yeah, it goes to show how great these runners are. I've been looking forward to this ever since this tournament come out. This possibility of these two meeting up in this tournament, and it's just I'm just so hyped, man. Because I like I said, I remember being there at AGDQ, rooting for these guys, and just seeing a spectacular showing. And I know they're going to put on a great show, and they already have so far.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned it at the top, but these guys are now only separated by 10 seconds on the leaderboard after Riley just got a new PB just a few days ago. It was 3 or 4 days ago. So Riley's ahead of Sage by 10 seconds, 37:41 versus 37:51. So very, very tight in that category. We knew this was going to be a good one, and so far they're living up to it.
Yeah, this stage here, this screen in particular, is probably the most problematic. Ice physics in play. You really got to have good movement, good wherewithal, and good shots, and slide shots and stuff to make it through there. And both runners just making it look easy.
This damage boost off the little ladder chomper guys always scares me a bit. But they both do it perfectly. Sage gets that annoying little bit with the ladder, trying to slide right away and starts going back down the ladder, but not a big deal.
Yeah, Ladder Man is Mega Man's true enemy. It's always a pain. This moth fight is both runners just doing a great job with this moth fight. You want to get those 7 shots in there before he drops his little arrow into the ground and breaks up the ground there. And both runners did absolutely fantastic, man. That's a very hard fight to optimize, too.
Yeah. Very hard to get the hits in quickly and very hard to just get the hits to connect. It's pretty notorious for those hitboxes, but...
Now, watch this. Sagehero does some really amazing balloon work. I don't know if he's going to go for it in this setting, but his Cossack 2 is some of the best Cossack 2 I've ever seen. Look at that. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And he took that extra balloon ammo there, so I know he's going to probably do the triple balloons in the last screen. So just something amazing to watch him do this. It's just so...
These balloon strats, no matter how many times you see it, always look scary. Pretty well controlled, but then Riley having a little problem with that little spike room, and so just like that, Sage is back in the lead.
Yeah, this stage is also one of those tightly routed stages where you're gonna end up at the boss with low health, and you just really got to be careful.
Oh, I love that balloon over the...
Isn't that amazing? Look at this. Look at that. Man. Oh my god, I love that, dude. I love...
Oh, yeah. So impressive. Those have to be placed just perfectly and make the jump through the the ladder chomper again. Man. And then, of course, Square Machine rewards him with a 3 cycle to start.
Looks
and
like
a 3 for Riley.
Yeah. They can do a couple, say Square Machine can do, 3 pass or 2 pass or 1 pass, Obviously you want to see those ones, but that doesn't really happen very often. So the most common is a 3-2, so...
Here we go, 3-1.
Yep. And Riley got a 3-2, so...
Yeah, so not too different.
Both did a really good 2 cycle where they got the 5 shots in the first cycle and then 2 for the second. So both did a really good job with that boss.
It was also a little interesting how they used slightly different strats to get those shots. And Sagehero did take the damage boost. He was able to take 1, so he utilized that to make sure that he can get the 5 shots in nice and easily. Riley just went and dodged everything, but gave them the same effect.
Yeah, now we're going on to the auto scroller, where there's really not a lot you can do. You're kind of at the mercy of the auto scroll, but getting these enemies off screen as fast as you can, as early as you can, like these guys are doing with these turrets, is really going to save them a lot of time. Not moving around, not shooting on extra bullets on. It's going to save them a little bit of on-screen lag time. But really, all in all, for the most part, this is just a slow-moving screen. Not much to it.
Yeah. Yeah, just a matter of frames you're saving there, but hey, why not? Save anything you can. Ooh,
wow, that
scared me with that.
That scared the bejesus out of me. Good God.
Oh man. I'm just gonna pretend that was extreme swag.
Yeah. He meant to do that, I'm sure. I'm sure he meant to do that.
Topping off the ring ammo, switching to Pharaoh. Pharaoh's nice because we can just hold that little shot above your head and not take up any ammo. And that's what we're going to need to use for the boss here, the Cockroach Twins. So just get that menu in early, kill the enemies with it. All works out well.
Nice sagehero going with that back deboost and get that Saturn ring enemy off screen faster that way.
Yeah.
Both got both back deboosts. Very nicely done. Now this boss fight, the twin cockroaches here, it's another scripted boss fight. They're going to do the same thing. The only thing you're going to have to worry about is that second cockroach either shooting the 4 balls or the 1 ball. So it's about the only difference there is to this fight.
Yeah, and it's, for being scripted, it is pretty tight execution. You can see getting that double hit on the one on the top, and then also the second guy that comes in, but sagehero shows exactly how it's done. Let's see if notriley gets the same thing. It's looking good. He got the double hit there.
Yeah, I liked how sagehero took that deboost off of that cockroach and got that center kill, but notriley didn't have to take this deboost, but still got up pretty close to the center there. That's really nicely done. Very optimized fight.
Mm-hmm.
And they have plenty of Pharaoh left for the rest of the game, so they probably most likely won't take this refill in this next stage.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't blame them if they did, because it's a little bit scary. Okay, so Sage is going to grab it. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't also, but that is nice to have some extra Pharaoh ammo, because there's nothing worse than running out on Wily Capsule. That is a massive time loss if it happens. So.
Yeah, it looks like Riley just opted to skip it. That's
skipped it, yeah. And Sage using the old rush coil, and I think Riley's doing that as well too, yeah. I guess he had to, because he really used all of his balloon ammo. So
yeah, usually if you don't do a lot of those balloon strats in Cossack 2, you'll be left with 1 balloon for this for that part up there. But looks like they didn't really need it. You know, who needs to use balloon there, right? I think the only time save that is with the menu, you're selecting rush coil, and you have to wait for that animation. But
now here's our namesake of the tournament cup, Dr. Cossack, in his giant claw machine, just trying to grab you. But unfortunately, these guys know kind of how he works, and so by sliding when his animations are changing when he's going to an attack, you can prevent him from doing anything at all. So it ends up being a pretty simple fight there. Oh, and Riley, I just noticed, is running in English, so you guys can get the story. There it was. It's gone.
That evil Dr. Eyebrows is behind everything. Scumbag.
Look at those eyebrows. Those are evil eyebrows. All right, and now we are into our Wily stages. This is still, I mean, this is just nuts how very close this is.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these two runners having similar skill set is they're going to be like this in all the matches that we're going to see tonight. In all of their matches, they're going to be so closely spotted together, because these guys just have such great skill at this game.
Yeah, this, I mean, again, just kind of putting on a clinic of how to move through. And Sage is getting the kind of death by 1,000 paper cuts that often happens in this stage. Get off by just a little bit, and then your timing's off for some of the other guys. And obviously these Mets aren't doing a whole lot of damage. You can still move through quickly, but it's just not quite as smooth as you want it to be. But now he's back on track with this underwater section.
Yeah, in order to infiltrate Dr. Wily's castle, we have to break in through the bathroom. So we can make it through the little back alley of the Mets here. The Mets hang out in the bathroom in Dr. Wily's castle. So we're going to see a big Met here directly. Vet Daddy.
The Vet Daddy himself.
He likes to, give you. He likes to be cantankerous sometimes. He'll jump big, jump small, and I think there's a little bit of RNG to his when he opens too. He can open early or open late. So I think he can kind of just be whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
But the idea is to take a damage off those small meds, slide through, and then get about a good 4 shots in. If you're lucky, you can get 5.
There we go. Very nice fight from Sage. Riley's going to have to wait for him to open, but then it's done. So, great fight from both. That's
very good job.
That's one of those fights that casually and then even as a beginning runner is really hard because you've just got to have your timing just right. It's so easy to get crushed by the big Met Daddy or mistime your jump so that you get stunned. It's a very difficult fight, but when you watch these guys do it, you wouldn't know that.
Now, Cossack, or Wily too, is pretty much the jet stage. You're going to see a lot of rush jet use here, and mainly just for, the sake of not menuing 1,000 times, so you want to save on menus. So you're going to switch to jet here, use it maybe once or twice in an actual stage, but you're going to just see him called down so you can use the buster shot for the rest.
Yeah, it ends up being kind of funny how many screens you don't actually need Rush Jet on, but you just have them out the entire stage. Kind of unique. Oh man, and again, that impressive mashing from Sage. Just drop that mummy right away.
Yeah, both runners making full effect of this jet strats. Sage had a little bit of trouble there in that bat room, but and it got Riley. Just now they're both in sync. Look at that sync, beautiful.
This is, and then again we see just like slight difference in strats.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Jump, Riley going underneath. Imagine we're gonna see both of them. Yep, doing the 1 tiles.
Wow. Wow!
Look at that.
Look at that.
Danger on him, Riley not fighting. Just
wow!
So close.
Yeah, you see the runners using Rain Flush here, the Toad shot, that skips the life fill animation of Taco Trash, and they switch the ring and just knock him down with ring here. You can use Drill to disable his hitbox, but it looks like Sage had a little bit of issues there. He didn't want to take too many hits because he could have died. So,
yeah,
it's tricky.
He about got sniped by one of those balls. That was, oof. But yeah, I mean, just that stage was just constant back and forth. The smallest of mistakes would give somebody the lead, and then great execution would go the other way. And after the fight, Riley's got just the narrowest of leads.
Yeah, we're going into refights now, and I think this is probably a good time to mention that over on SpeedGaming 3 is the Kalinka Cup semifinals. Is it the quarterfinals?
This is semis for Kalinka Cup.
The semifinals for the Kalinka Cup with Wader and Finesse Prince going against each other on SpeedGaming 3. Actually, I think they just started just now. So
it should be going right now. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I can't watch that one at the same time. I have to go back and catch the VOD because that's going to be a good one as well.
Yeah, both runners are excellent. It's definitely going to be a worth watch another VOD on that one too.
Oh man, so it looks like they're both doing just fine on dust ammo. That's the first concern of all these. We are going to use dust on Pharaoh, a little different than the first time we fought him, because this is a soft weakness, so it's going to do 2 damage every hit. Ends up being a little bit faster to just go with those hits as quickly as possible, rather than doing the charge buster that takes does 3 damage but takes a while to charge up.
And it looked like they both had really good Pharaoh. Both players, they only jumped maybe once or twice and kind of stayed in the corner for him. Because the idea is, you want to get out of the fight as fast as possible. So you want to be standing in that teleporter doorway.
Yeah, we're back to the sink.
Just like that, we're back neck and neck again. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they both had great skull fights, and it looked like they both got pretty short shields. Both had great drills. They're doing a good job being right on the teleporters.
Yeah, it's crazy that the only thing that separates them right now is sagehero took the health from Dive Man.
Yeah.
And was able to skip it. So that's the only thing that separated them right now. That's crazy.
Both did a good job, as we mentioned before. You got to manipulate Brightman's health so that you don't fall on 16, 8, or 4. So that's why we saw them taking those hits with the skull barrier, doing 2 damage each there, but got 5 hits in, so then they could go to the Rain Flush. And now here's our RNG again. Riley's getting a dive.
And we can see another change in pace here with.
And then Sage gets it.
It's nice to Riley, but not nice to Sage.
That's the worst when you got that 1 hit left. He knows. He knows he's only got 1 hit left. He prolongs his life as much as he can.
I was making their way through Toad, man. That's a really tricky fight, let me tell you.
Yeah, that Toad fight. You got to do the ring fight a little bit different because for whatever reason you can't charge it before it starts this time, so you have to do 2 of the uncharged hits. So it might look just a little different. Both did it perfectly. All right, Dustman. Let's see what he gets on.
Factor here. He could suck you to death or just let you take it. And Riley made it through really nice.
Oh, okay. One that he was able to cancel. Not too bad. Of course, health is a little bit of a concern for Sage.
Sage is going to have to be careful here, so he might have to opt for a little slower strats on the second phase to kind of miss those Hadouken balls that he's throwing out, but I think all in all, they're going to be really close again.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I was just wondering if he got any random E-tanks from Eddie or anything. So he does not have any E-tanks, but I don't think it'll be an issue.
You see him opt. Oh, he missed a shot there. So
God, okay,
there you go. Makes it very nice.
That very last one always scares me.
Yeah.
You think you got him done, and it's easy to take your attention off. So Riley's going to be heading into the capsule first now. We also have a little bit of capsule RNG to think about, whether they can get double hits in or whether they even just get friendly spawn positions.
Yeah, it all comes down to really how Henry Wiley wants to be with his locations here to get some double shots or not. Let's see how close we. I mean, sagehero can potentially sneak up and get this, though. It's still anybody's.
Sure. For sure. I mean, between execution and luck, there's some room. I mean, both these guys are looking at low 38s. These are some very impressive times. Oh, I really just missed the double.
Okay, wow,
left to go. There.
And there it is, Riley with the win.
Man. And there it is. Man, so 4 hit difference, maybe 5. 21, 22 for Riley, and looked like a 26 for Sage. Wow. Big GGs to both these guys. That was, as expected, that was an amazing race.
That was awesome. GGs to both runners for their first race. Wow, that was just absolutely spectacular. Very well done.
Man.
I was thinking about something. And if you look at the Cossack Cup brackets, everybody in the semis moved on to the next round with 2 wins to nothing.
That's true, yeah.
Best of 3. So it'll be kind of unique to see whether or not Riley gets the second win over Sage, or if Sage, pulls a win out here. It's going to be neat. I hope we go the distance, man. I really do.
I mean, we both said we're kind of expecting to actually go 3 matches. A 5-second difference makes me feel pretty good about that too.
Indeed, it does. Yeah, you know, we give these guys a little bit of a break here, and you know, once they're ready to go for match 2, we'll get it started. But man, that was absolutely amazing run. Just so awesome.
Man, yeah, what an impressive performance from both of them.
Yeah,
and
yeah, definitely during the break, go follow the runners, man. Sagehero is an amazing person. Very, very well, full of knowledge, man. This guy is so knowledgeable with this run. He's helped me personally tremendously with my own game, and I'm sure he's more than willing to help anybody else. Riley is the same. He knows so much, and he has such great movement. Both people, very good people, very awesome, and definitely go give them a follow.
Yeah, both fantastic runners, great people. Have had a lot of time, a lot of great times watching these guys play this game and others. They're fantastic.
Yeah. And I guess I want to take this time to shout out, you know, all the guys who helped put this tournament together, like Looking Toad and Waiter and Mannix and everybody else. You know, I don't remember all of the mods, but man, you guys have done absolutely awesome job putting this tournament together. Thank you for this, because I know, me personally speaking, I've been wanting a Mega Man 4 tournament for so long, and it has exceeded all my expectations. It has been absolutely phenomenal to watch. And we've gotten, what, 3 new world records in the last month?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just mind-blowing how much this game has just been set on fire just because of this tournament. So
yeah, thinking back to, almost a month ago now when we were doing the heats, had 55 people competing at the very beginning there. We got just such an amazing turnout. The community's really shown up for this, and everybody coming to watch these races. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, and don't forget, also the Cossack Cup is still going. The semis is going on right now with Waiter and Venez going at it head-to-head. The winner of that match will be going to the finals of the Cossack Cup to face Resisting Frame.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go over there and check them out. Wish them good luck too.
Yeah, all folks. Venez Prince has been improving a whole lot very quickly. Waiter's been a fantastic runner for quite a while now, been a big staple in the community. And Resisting Frame, probably most well known for Mega Man 6, who actually was also part of that relay that we've talked about at GDQ, has been putting in a bunch of time with Mega Man 4. So it's been really fun seeing all those people improving, besides just the folks at the top that we already knew were amazing.
Right, I agree. Man, this race just did not let me down at all, man. This was amazing, absolutely awesome. Like I said before, man, that Cossack 2 from sagehero, oh, breathtaking, man, to watch that.
Yeah,
I love it.
that's a thing of beauty. All right, so we're giving our runners just a couple minutes to take a quick break, make sure they're ready to go for the second one. And looks like they are readied up again, so we'll be starting off again very soon here.
Yeah, you know, it's gonna be you know, pretty much we're gonna see a lot of the same strats being used, you know, the next match, and it's gonna be interesting to see how much of a variation the RNG is now.
Yeah,
Because we seen how Dive Man treated them in the last, or Drill Man treated them in the last, how Square Machine treated them. You know, it'd be interesting to see, you know, the difference in just that, because that alone really was basically the factor in this entire run. You know, not not many mistakes from these two, and it's just very, very minor missteps here and there. But both really, it all really comes down to that just bad RNG, bad luck type thing.
Yeah, and it's always, I think it's always interesting seeing, what you can control and what you can't. So you can't do much about Drill Man being a jerk, Dust Man being a jerk. But all those tiny little optimizations, the little things, like we mentioned, the Cossack 2 that sagehero does, it's just so impressive. The way they can do those tiny little things to make the RNG not matter is so exciting to see.
And we're starting race number 2, and they're already synced up. Look at that. That's just amazing.
I tell you what, these guys. This, man, watching the beginning of Pharaoh stage always kind of blows me away because, like you and I mentioned earlier, mashing is hard, and mashing while still having movement that clean and dealing with all these different variables, slightly different bullet patterns from the little guys buzzing around. It's
yeah, and you got to be careful with how many times you slide underneath those scorpions there, because if you slide too many times, you can die. There is an invisible pit down there.
It's quicksand.
Yeah, right. I mean, legit. Robots still die in quicksand. Now, these platforms are unique. You can get them to not shoot those little bullets out of the side of their heads if you, slide at the right time on there and you position yourself at the right spot. As you see, some of them got, it just saves, minor time save right there. But, when you're searching for that 36, that comes in handy to know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the tiny little optimizations in movement are so crazy to see how much time you can save on what feels like an auto scroller, just taking these little platforms. But there's time to be saved everywhere. Save it where you can.
Yeah, again, we're going into a Pharaoh fight here. He does, basically a little bit of 3 different things. He can just stand there and shoot his sand blaster at your face, or he can jump around real tall arc jumps, or he can jump to your position. So it's really, he can really be a pain in the butt sometimes with his jump, but he likes to jump in the corner right when you kill him. But it's like Riley kills him in the corner, where Sage kills him a little bit closer to the center, so that's going to save Sage some time there. Oh, but Riley gets the fanfare skip. Wow, and he's right back in there.
For whatever reason, I think the Pharaoh one is so difficult compared to that.
I agree. It's really hard to set up the Pharaoh fanfare skip, because for me, it's really hard to see, and it's really hard to time that, jump right at the right time as that last little explosion ball is going off screen.
All right, Sage into Brightman, making it across what I think is the scariest jump in the game. I think that one in the second screen is... I have more problems with that than the balloon jump.
Yeah, I've had more problems with that than the rest of the entire game.
And about equal grasshopper luck. I do think it's a little interesting they both go for the mashing down the gachapon machine instead of damage boosting through it. If your mashing is good enough, which we know these guys have it, then that's a nice way to just save some health and not have to worry about drops. Here come the balloons.
It really all comes down to the mesh. Oh, Sage getting some bad placement on the balloons there.
Yeah, so
it's going to create a lot of lag. Oh no! Oh, Sage.
I was worried about that jump. Yeah, and that, like we mentioned,
that's why it's so costly to use those balloon strats there. Yeah, that was just some rough placement on the balloons and kind of tricky. Create a lot of lag, and it's just unfortunate for Sage, just barely missing that last grasshopper, but makes it through here with the Pharaoh shot strats. So he's going to be about a screen behind, so he's got a lot of work to do to catch back up.
Yeah, we'll see if he can kind of chip away at that as it goes. In the first race, obviously, there were I don't think we had any deaths, right? Those were completely
that was
deathless.
deathless.
No issues there. So Riley's got to think it's kind of in his hands, but we know Sage can make up little bits of time everywhere.
Yeah, good fight by Riley there to avoid the flash from Brightman, you know, and getting those double shots. Really, very well done.
Sage again. I love just setting up there as the Pharaoh shot's charging. He's just facing backwards, waiting for Brightman to shoot him so he can use those iframes to run into him. Just very clear. He's done that fight a lot of times. He's got all the strats down.
Yeah, and you'll hear Sage tell you also, you know, when you figure out what the trick is to, you know, really do it correctly, then it's pretty easy after that. You can kind of just do it the same way over and over again, and it feels normal, you know.
Riley had a pretty good section through there. He got hit by one of the turrets. I think it just started shooting. I think he had the placement, the jump right, and it just got sniped, which happens, but shouldn't be a big deal on health. Oh, and then a big health drop just falls in his lap, so you lose a little time on that, but especially in a race setting, I wouldn't hate having the extra health.
Yeah, having extra health in ringband stage is nice, but sometimes it's a pain getting that big health drop when you know you can, you know, make it through without it. You know, it just slows you down, and it kind of it's just annoying sometimes.
I love that double Pharaoh shot to take out both the little Saturn enemies we just saw from Riley. It just looks so cool to shoot those at exactly the right time.
Oh, Sage is gonna have to be careful here. He doesn't want to take death. He's really low on health.
No, he's at 4. I see. I think he thought about going back to grab that health because at 4 you can't even do the back deboost against the ring mini boss at the end. And so I think he realized that, but then couldn't change his mind quickly enough.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that he missed that.
And Riley's out of Pharaoh ammo.
Wow. So it's still anybody's game. It's just, you see how quick it could change, just like that. And Sage, you know, gonna have to do a lot to make up time. But man, he got a little bit of a break there with Riley running out of Pharaoh. That's gonna help him out.
This has been a wild first 3 stages. I can't imagine what's gonna happen the rest of this race.
Both runners, man, making this race as well as the first, very interesting and very exciting to watch. Now this barrel strats here in Dust, I don't know if we mentioned it, but it's very hard to get it done correctly, especially at first screen, because if you miss that shot on those guys coming up from the pits, you can really get hit and just drop straight down there, and it just ruins you. But Riley man, look at that lag room.
Yeah.
I
don't even want to call it the lag room when he's using those strats. He's just, man, just eliminating everyone. No fear.
Looks like Riley's going for the Pharaoh strats here. I think he's thinking, he feels like he's behind, which he is, so he's gonna opt to do a little bit of Pharaoh strats and, you know, make up some time here.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Riley just barely getting through the crushers.
Oh man, yeah, just exciting things happening on both screens. Sage had now he's had a couple drops come down here, which is super unlucky because they're gonna add more of that lag you're trying to avoid. And then at the same time, Riley going for the fast crusher skip. It looked fine, but then the ring just took out the first 2 blocks instead of the last 2, and so he was safe, but didn't quite get the fast skip.
Yeah, sometimes those rings can have a mind of their own, you know.
And Dust is kind of
It's like-
giving him the business. Oh, there we go.
It's unique to see sagehero use the Pharaoh strats there. You can kind of tell. Oh, wow. Oh, man, that was so cool. Stop. Woo! Man, Sage just making the heart attack real right now.
Oh man, that was something.
I think as Concert asked what happened to Sage. Sage died twice. Once in Bright and once what was it? Both times in Bright.
No, we had the balloon
once in Ring.
and then
Yeah, once in Ring. But really,
man.
those two deaths, sagehero is not that far behind. He is really, and when you look at it, he can easily make this up. All you know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of game. But yeah, oh man, that grab on the ladder was something. We're seeing all those balloon strats.
And be careful when you're doing that Skullman zip, because if that balloon, if you jump up on that balloon too late, you can get crushed. That balloon pushes you up onto that ceiling, and before you get hit by that spike thingamajiggy, you could die.
Yeah, that little spot that Sage just went past always scares me just a little bit as far as getting crushed too, because you do have to really squeeze under the platform. But it makes it through no problem. Riley's into our Skullman fight. Let's see what kind of luck he gets on the shield.
What kind of shield he gets, because oh yeah, he gets a terrible, but not the worst shield, but pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh yeah, so I suppose we haven't talked about balloon jumps, but Lucas and Chad asking about that. You can actually jump off of the balloon even when you can't see the sprite for it. It's somewhere around 12 frames, I think, is about right on the count. But you can't be all the way in the room. You've got to kind of put it in there pretty close, and then before it totally despawns, you can still jump off of it. It can be nice for saving lag, and also nice for doing tight jumps that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
Looks like sagehero getting some bad luck with the skull shields on his fight.
Yeah, bad luck and 2 shields. Went a little bit off script, but
now we're seeing that Bright, the flash stopper used a lot here now. Like we said in the last match, you know, the global countdown is 5 seconds, but when you're sliding, it won't count down. So you can make that flash stopper most effective in making it last the entire screen. So they're going to use this pretty much the entire 8 robos.
Eddie was not a bro that time. Gave Riley the ammo that I'm sure he was not interested in.
Tried to go for his quick slide cancel off that platform there and just takes a spike death. That's unfortunate, because now he's going to be low on bright ammo. Sage is definitely have to be feeling it right now. I'm sure he's kind of on tilt a little bit, but he can still get back in this. He's doing he did the really good slide cancels there.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that we might kind of see a lot of really just all-out strats from Sage. Now, we already saw with using the Pharaoh where he'd used Bright the first time in Dust. So he might feel like, oh, there we go, and then that was like the ammo was actually helpful that time, and like for Riley. So, but yeah, so we might kind of see him go for some crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm glad Eddie gave Sage some ammo there, because that's going to help him finish out this Batman stage. Oh, I just noticed that Sage's timer was off. He must have accidentally hit the reset button.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Can understand that reflex.
Yeah, that happens, you know.
Again, Riley cruising through Drill. We'll see how these bats treat him. Oh, yeah.
Looks like Sage had a really good dive man fight there. See if he can get that fanfare skip.
Yep.
And he does. That's going to save him 2 seconds right there. That's a very good time save for him. Now, Riley coming up to that last screen in Drill Man stage where you can, if you have really good movement, you can make it through to the end, to the boss corridor with just one flash stopper. Usually you have to use 2, but if you have the perfect amount of movement, you can make one last the whole time.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, there we go.
And he made it pretty much all. I mean, it just unfroze right as soon as he was hitting the door. That's just amazing on Riley's part.
And like we've mentioned a few times, it's impressive watching the ability to slide chain. It just looks like they never come out of the slide animation. These guys are good.
Very good bats for Sage too. It's nice. Let's see what.
And Riley,
Drill.
no dives.
Wow. No dive for Drill. No dive for Riley. That's awesome. I think he got no dives in the boss stage. Oh no, Sage! Oh, ouch! That's very unfortunate. You know, just missing that top platform. And that's such a bad place to die because the checkpoint room is actually the next room above him.
Yeah, the very next room.
All the way back at the beginning and low on bright again. That's unfortunate. That's a huge time loss right there.
Yeah. And you see that happen sometimes with if you don't get the flash at the very beginning quite on time, and then you have to deal with bullets, and it gets a little wonky. But yeah, there he was just trying to cut his jump as short as possible to make that movement nice and crisp, and just barely missed it. So let's see, he's already out of flash. Let's see what strats he decides to go with.
Oh no! Oh, Sage. He tried to go for that D boost on the top one, but just missed the platform again. It'd be interesting to see what he does here. He might opt to take the game over and start with full ammo, but I don't know what he'll end up doing. He might just go for it. Looks like he's probably going to go for it, because if you wanted to game over there, take a game over, that would probably have been the best spot to do it.
Yeah, that is true. This is a stage that you'd have to go all the way, I guess, to the spikes in this room for an instant death. So probably the Crusher Stompy guy would have been your best bet. It's unfortunate. Meanwhile,
unfortunate.
Riley's about to get to Toadman. He's still looking like this is going to be pretty similar pace to his first race. In the low 18s, getting to old Toadman.
There we go. Sage making it through that turret room now. Now he's at the checkpoint, so... But actually, I think this might be his last life, to be honest.
It probably is.
Yeah, he's going to take some skull strats here. Very good backup strats to do here if you ever run out of bright. So it's, you know, all you got to do is just hit that skull shield on them rocks, make it through. No problem.
That last jump is the one that always scares me because you lose it on the rock and then you got to pull out your skull shield again. But you knew it was coming. Yeah. Did well.
Riley making out of Toad about similar time that he did last round too. So he's really on a good pace. Another 37 pace for Riley.
Well, and Drill going back under. Very nice fight, though. Just got the
Nice
one
fight.
dive.
You know, I think to come to think of it, Sage got a one dive on the last boss fight too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So we're seeing a lot of similar RNG so far.
Riley cruising through Cossack 1 now. I think we mentioned it the first time, but you got some ice physics to deal with. You got to be very careful about your movement through this section, especially between the little skeleton Joes and the guys coming out of the pit. But as long as you make sure you really extend your slides out and get the jumps right at the end, you're going to be fine shape. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if that was intended or not, but Riley accidentally switched to jet, it looked like, and he just rolled with it. That was kind of awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't mean to jet, but he grabbed it and he just decided to go with it.
That was kind of awesome because I was worried that he was going to go for the kind of normal balloon strat and be in trouble, but he realized it.
It's like Sage finishing up his Toad. Now coming into the last screen. We're coming up to the second Gary, I like to call him, second snail. Making it really nice. It's this stage. The boss fight's really easy, but the stage is deceptively hard, you know, to really optimize. It's a lot of pitfalls into it.
Yeah, for sure. And Riley did have a really nice Motheriah fight there as well. Don't think he missed any shots. Got the kill before he was crushing the ground. That's good.
Yeah, on the Cossack 2 for Riley, which is, like we said last match, it's another one of those stages that are really tightly routed where you're going to end up at square machine with low health. So you gotta be careful. Don't want to take, you know, too many hits on square machines and end up dying at the start. In the castle stages, you don't start in the boss hallway. You gotta start at the last checkpoint. So it could lose a lot of time if he dies on the square machine.
Yeah, that was luckily nothing or something that we didn't encounter in the first race. We didn't have to see that, but deaths here are super, super painful. And so even though we've got a difference of about a stage and a half, any deaths on the bosses in these castle stages can equalize things real quickly.
Yeah, and something that could really close the gap is if Riley actually dies in Cossack 3, because that's a huge time loss if you die there with an auto scroller and you have to wait, you know, to auto scroll all the way back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know a little something about that.
Yeah, as do I. So yeah, I mean, it may look like these guys are far apart, but man, it's still anybody's game. But these guys have such great skill in this game where just one small mistake from one of the other runners and they can capitalize on each other, you know? So still anybody's game.
A good square machine kill from Not Riley. I think that was... I was looking back and forth, so I missed exactly what pattern he got, but I think it was a 3-2.
Yeah, I think it was a 3-2, and I think that was what he got last time, too. And like I said, very similar RNG as the first matchup, so... Sage getting locked down, and I think we're going to see Sage do some more riskier strats in Cossack 2, and maybe even some more impressive strats. I mean, this guy has such an amazing Cossack 2 to watch. If you guys ain't never seen sagehero do Cossack 2, holy cow. It's definitely worth watching. I mean, this is just amazing. There it is. There's double jumps there.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to take that extra help. That extra ammo, so he's going to go for those riskier strats, and that's awesome to watch. Very good spike slides, very good balloon positions.
Yeah, there
has to take a little bit of a mix of it because he got hit by that saw there. Didn't want to get hit by one of those spikes from the blocks, but
oh nice.
Wow, nice. I love that. Oh man, I love watching them do that. That is amazing.
Yeah, he put an extra balloon in into the wall, I think. And so
yeah.
Decided he needed that extra ammo. I love it.
I mean, to get that to work is just perfect. Oh no, he missed the triple balloons, but man, I tell you what, just watching that get that ammo there was worth it. I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah, just again the game knowledge, every backup strat in the world. It's seeing these guys play the game is a real treat.
Yeah, and for him to just pull that out, you know, it's just amazing. Oh,
yeah,
that was really close.
And notriley is looking good. Yeah, very nice cockroach kill right in the center. Not bad at all.
It's like Sage finishing up Square Machine here. Nicely
and was
done.
that
nicely done.
Was that a 3-3?
No, it was a 3-2, I think, also.
Okay. 3-2 also, that's good. And let's see, Riley did not get the Pharaoh ammo last time. And it ended up just fine, but it looks like he is going to grab it this time.
Oh, okay, it was 3-3. I stand corrected. Yeah. It was 3-3.
Alright, Riley gets our little rush coil. Sage is just chilling through our little auto scroller there again.
Yeah, not much you can do. Like I said the last time, not much you can do about this auto scroller. You're just kind of at the mercy of it, just scrolling on by.
Luckily, you get some good tunes while you hang out.
That's true. Wow, Riley going into the Cossack catcher fight here. You know, I don't know if we said this last time. You can kind of trick him into trick him in with his positions, because when you slide, Cossack catcher won't move left or right. So it's you can kind of manipulate his positions a little bit.
Yeah, and with these guys, such good slide chaining like we've talked about. Can really kind of keep them locked down. There's our appearance from Proto Man. Letting Kalinka go.
He was that dirty eyebrow bastard all along.
Those evil eyebrows.
I think all the power resides in those eyebrows. That's where 90% of his evil tactics come from.
And now we're back to the bathroom. Let's go Mets.
Yeah, let's go Mets indeed. Living in the bathroom in Wily's castle.
And Sage with nice cockroach twins kill.
A very good kill. It looks like he may have missed a shot there, because he's a little lower on Pharaoh ammo than what he normally would be. It looked like. I don't know for sure, but I think he might have missed a shot.
Well, and he did grab the Pharaoh ammo and Cossack 4 last time, so I imagine he'll probably do the same, especially if he did miss one there.
Oh, well, maybe I was wrong. It looks like he's just going to skip it.
No, just go straight past, yeah. Using the balloon there. He's got that extra balloon ammo, so figures why not. Guess we'll see the balloon jump here also. Oh, yeah. Oh. There it is. And getting all those extra balloons. Getting some uses.
Riley going into his Med Daddy fight here. Med Daddy can be ornery sometimes with his jumps. You know, he can jump big or jump small. You don't want to take damage off of him. You want to take damage off those small meds because you know you can really mess around and forget how much health you got, and Met Daddy can reach out and grab you, and then you're dead, and you got to start all the way back at the checkpoint, which is right in that water section.
And I think Riley did take one hit on the first jump from Met Daddy, but had no problems the rest of the way out. He knew what was going on. And there's Sage doing the same little trick with Dr. Cossack.
Yeah, frame this. Frame asked if this was a semifinal. This is a quarterfinal. This is the last matchup of the quarterfinals. The winner of this match, this quarterfinal matchup, is going to be moving on to face Ohan in the semis.
Yeah, and we've already got the on the other side of the bracket, Vecco versus Prissy. So we're gonna have some really exciting semis.
Yeah, I'm not sure if. I wonder if anybody in chat knows who won against the Waiter and Venice Prince. But they were fighting, going up against each other in the Kalinka Cup, in the semis of the Kalinka Cup, while this matchup was going on. I'm sure they're probably done by now. But Waiter won. Okay, it looks like Waiter won. So that's Waiter's going to be moving on to face Resisting Frames in the finals of the Kalinka match. So that's
Waiter awesome. Versus RF. That's going to be a hot one.
That's going to be a good matchup.
I think that's what I had in my prediction bracket too. So. Riley making it through. That's those little single blocks shouldn't really be too scary, but just being at the end of the stage, knowing there's no checkpoint there, and you're so far into the run. Oh man! And then Sage gets a slide.
No, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that underwater rules are in effect here. You know, you can jump out of your slides, and you know, doing the slide cancels are a little bit dangerous. You know, here you can end up in spikes because, as you can tell, the spikes are everywhere, and it doesn't take much. You know, a little slip of movement, you can end up in some spikes. But it's lucky. I mean, it was a quick death. I mean, the checkpoint room was right there, so he didn't lose a lot.
Yeah, that
of time,
is the nice thing about this underwater.
Yeah, he's just going for broke, you know, like you said there in chat. He's just going for it, and that's
I love it.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love seeing these riskier strats. You know, sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't, but man, they're looking great. It's fun to watch for sure. Riley jumping into his reed fights now. It looks like he's got plenty of dust ammo, which is the main concern for reed fights. So, looks like
Ring's in good shape. I know he got that extra pickup for Pharaoh, so he should be good on ammo all the way through. Sage getting that nice kill on Met Daddy. Very nice Pharaoh fight. Almost a little unfortunate when the ammo falls right on the teleporter. And you don't really need it much because you just think about just those couple of frames, but losing anything is always frustrating. Oh, and then the shield that lasts forever.
That shield lasted forever, and he had to be careful because if he would have shot one more shot, he wouldn't have had enough dust there. But he made it, clinched it.
Yeah, I was worried about the ammo when he had that second one tank, but he knew exactly how much he had. No reason to be
These guys do it all the time. They're well aware of how much ammo they need. So.
Getting
that two shot on that second little slinky dog thing looking majigger. I don't know what the hell it's called, but getting that two shot as you're falling down there is really hard to do. But Sage making it look easy.
Yeah,
oh no, he's having trouble with this bat room again. He had some trouble last time too. But,
no.
Wow, go back down. Oh no, he's gonna decide to reset the room.
Yeah. This is really the kind of definition of deceptively difficult room. And so going for that hype strat to get the turnaround to make it a little bit easier with rush, but then if you miss it once and the bats start giving you a hard time,
unwanted screen transition, but was able to grab that ladder really high, so it's not too terrible, but unfortunate to say the least. It's just having some unfortunate difficulties in Wily 2 here, but making it through.
Goes for that sick little damage to bring Rush Jet straight to him. He's really showing off all the awesome strats in his arsenal, though. And Riley's been just cruising through the refights. We're here on Ringman. I've kind of been looking back and forth, but I think we had one dive on Drill, and now we're on Dust. See what he'll give him. Some sucks. No problem though.
There, looks like he's got enough health to take a deboost from these Hadougens and get those fast drill shots on phase 2, so he should be alright.
Yeah, should be just fine. Oh, it was 2 dives from Drill, okay. Missed one of those. Get everyone's favorite noise in the world. Oh, and somebody mentioned this last time, and I don't think we had a chance to answer it, but using the drill there on the very end of that first phase fight kind of gives you a dual purpose benefit. It stops the life fill animation, kind of like we did with the Rain Flesh against Taco Trash. And so you get to that second phase a little bit quicker, and then it also does do the damage, you just can't see it. So then when you hit him with the second one, it looks like it does double damage. So it's a really nice little strat to make that fight a good bit quicker.
Sage gonna have to be careful here with his dust ammo. Looks like he may have just enough. Yeah, I think he's got just maybe one shot short.
Riley moving down, man. Still the movement, taking out those caterpillars as he goes. Yeah, he's gonna be short.
Yeah, yep, he was one shot short. Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked a little short to me.
Oh, nice double to start it off for Riley.
Well, another double hit and it's over. Oh, got a weird position there.
Okay.
One more shot.
Got plenty of ammo, obviously. No problems there. There it is. Nice. Looks like 41. It's got the official SRL time of a 38:42. There we go, Sage. Excuse me, keeping things exciting there. Yeah, and I don't. That was we got some interesting boss orders going on here.
Yeah, Sage. Oh no, Sage! Oh no, unfortunate death right from dive.
And it looks like
over. Ouch!
It looks like with that, I think Sage might have forfeited. Let's see if he keeps going.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. That is an unfortunate death there.
Yeah, Refight's death is just so bad. And as we mentioned, he was at 1 life from pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah, and getting into refights, taking a game over halfway through refights is very, very unfortunate. Nicely done by both runners. Just showing off their skills, showing off their knowledge of the game. And GG's to Riley. Moving on, he's going to be facing Ohan in the semifinals. So best of luck to him moving forward in this, and well done by both runners, giving us a very entertaining. And looks like sagehero is going to go for the refight skip. Is he gonna get it? Oh, there's it looks like you gotta have what 30-something frame perfect movements or something like that to get that refight skip to work.
Yeah, I don't know the exact. It's a lot of inputs in a very small amount of time. And I always thought that you needed wire. I don't know if there is a way to do it with balloon, but
I don't know, but that's awesome to see it done, though. I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't know if we're gonna have interviews or not. Are we gonna send these guys? Are we gonna get these guys in here for some interviews?
Yeah, I asked him. I haven't heard from either of these guys yet, so we'll see. Let's call it a day and get some sleep. And I should probably check real quick. Okay, yeah, we're doing just fine on time despite the late start. So we'll see if either of them want to jump in. But man, I mean, we thought it was gonna go to 3. It's unfortunate to see the issues that Sage ran into, but man, 2 great runs from Riley. Oh, and we do have him jumping in here. How's it going, guys?
Hello. It was better after the first match.
So, Riley, congrats on the win. First of all, how'd you feel about both those runs?
I felt pretty good. Of course, I always have to watch it, and it was just neck and neck the whole time. But I haven't died yet in the tournament, so it feels pretty good.
Yeah, that's an impressive stat there.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Sage, man, those was some very, very unique strats you're doing. I was saying
that was
in the tournament, your Cossack 2 is just such an amazing Cossack 2 to watch. It's just so awesome.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot with different strats, so like I knew how to grab that ammo. There's a way to grab the other ammo, but it uses 3 extra balloons just to get 5 ammo. So it's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, man, does it look awesome there. I mean, it's just fantastic. Your balloon work is just awesome.
And the second time I hit balloon. I hit shoot before I let go of the ladder, so I just got a ladder balloon. It like grabbing on the ladder balloon, and then I just had to do a sad climb.
Yeah,
I should have reset the room.
Yeah, but you had a couple of close calls where you just had me on the edge of my seat. I think there was one in Dustman stage where in that
Oh, the ladder.
Met room where you grab that ladder at the
Yep.
very bottom.
That was not intended. That is why I don't do that strat. I don't even do that strat in PB attempts, much less in races. But it was kind of like once I had died twice, I was like, okay, like we're just gonna go for literally everything and hope that I have the next like 8 stages are amazing and Riley takes a death. Basically, is what I need to happen. And then the opposite happened. Riley played consistently well, and I died instead.
Yeah, Riley, take us through your runs and tell us exactly how you felt. It looked like you were really set in your ways and very consistent and really great movement. Tell us about your run, man. Did you have any points where you were worried?
I took everything pretty. I'm not gonna say easy, but I kind of went with what I could do consistently. I've been practicing and doing balloons and runs and bright, but I didn't want to risk it, and I just kind of did that through the whole run. Just kind of took it kind of easy but safe, and luckily got I guess a little better RNG, and won the first one.
Yeah, that first race, by the way, guys, was just phenomenal. I mean, it was like a 5-second difference between you two at the end. It was just incredible to watch.
This is totally my play style. Is like the first race is incredible and the second one is just garbage.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get one good run a day, and I spent it.
Yeah, but man, watching you do some of those more riskier strats in your second run was really entertaining. Like, it was really neat to see you pull off some dangerous strats, and unfortunately there was a couple of deaths. But kind of walk us through there. What was kind of going through your mind when you were having some unfortunate turn of events there in the second match?
The first death was on bright balloons, and it was actually a little bit frustrating. Like I was having a little bit of trouble just because the increased amount of lag was messing up all my inputs, basically. Not that it actually messes up your inputs, but that it messes up all your timing and that the movement that you're used to isn't happening. So that's kind of how I ended up dying the first time. And then I was like, okay, the second one, I actually don't know what happens. Like I just multiple mistakes, like oops, oh, I'm dead.
Right.
I was so busy thinking about, because I didn't have enough health to finish Ring the right way, and I was so busy thinking about how I was going to wrap the rest of it that I wasn't paying attention to what my hands were doing. So I just ended up in a pit.
That was what we were kind of thinking, was the health was playing games with you because he had a small drop, and we didn't know if you were planning to go back for it or if it was just looking at everything and not thinking about the jumps.
Yeah, I mind flooded myself.
Yeah, that's easy for me to do. I do that a lot.
Then from then on out, it was just like, well, I'm just literally going to go for everything. And if I die, then I just die. Like, if I die, then it was a lost run anyways, so who cares?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell kind of in that second match where you kind of transition from, taking it like, okay, I can still make this up, or hey, I'm going to switch to some of more of the riskier strats, and if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. You can. Yep. It was really, really unique to see, but also really fun to watch.
And I mean, it was fun, but also like if I won the first match, if I played better, it wouldn't have mattered. So, I kind of did it to myself.
Right. But man, let me tell you guys, GG's to you both. You guys did an amazing job. I call this the AGDQ rematch, and you guys didn't disappoint. You guys really put on a great showing. You really showed off your knowledge of this game, your skills, and it's just, my hat's off to you both. Good job.
Big GG's. Riley, I gotta ask you also, so now you're going ahead facing Ohan, the 1 seed for the tournament. How are you feeling about that?
Well, I guess I'll throw my bag of tricks out and see what happens.
There you go.
Throw everything at them.
Yeah, that's basically my one chance is basically pay perfect and do
Now,
everything I've never done in a run.
are you planning on implementing those balloon strats in Bright for that run, or are you just going to keep it consistent with how you normally?
Oh, I'm going right balloons. Anything I can. I might do triple balloons in Cossack too. I mean.
Oh wow,
go for it all.
nice.
Nice. Oh, and I meant to ask you guys also, did you agree ahead of time on the rush coil for balloon jump, or was that something you guys arrived at independently?
I don't feel safe enough without coil.
We did not discuss that at all.
Okay.
It's what I did at GDQ, so it's kind of just what I've done. There's a better strat where like you kind of summon rush further back and I'll catch you if you get hit. But I don't like it because it changes the lag. It just feels different.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was something you guys agreed on or if it was just what you both felt comfortable with, so that's interesting. All right, well, I don't think I've got anything else. Anybody else got anything to share?
I think I've got all my questions answered. Just want to say GG's again and good luck to Riley on the next.
MakeAManLeaderboards.net, by the way.
There you go.
All right, well, thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll be getting those semifinal matches. We got Ohan versus Not Riley, and on the other side of the bracket, it's Becco versus Prissy. So be on the lookout for those matches. Those are going to be some very, very exciting ones. And thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you guys next time.
All right, bye-bye.